Hiya, critters. Shall we get started? Well, we need to start by doing each part of the piece individually. First, we have me, creature. Oh, and Iden too. I drew this floaty pose a long time ago and it feels like a natural pose. Of course, I have to include my chunky iPad. Now, Iden here is a cat. I don't believe I've ever explained to you that Iden can change between being a human and a cat. I don't draw him much as a cat, but I wanted to hear because I fully intend to have cat Iden be like a mascot. Is it strange to mascot my boyfriend? Well, he's okay with it. The Rocket Raccoon hoodie is a must and so are the baggy pants. But you know, what creature wears under the hoodie is always up in the air. This time I had to choose because I knew that I wanted to have the jacket open to be more dynamic. So, I decided to put my best foot forward with a dress shirt and tie. This is one of the first things people will see of me after all. Back to Iden. Before, when I used to draw him as a cat, it was very cartoony. I want to show more of what he actually looks like. He is a gray tabby with a pink underbelly, but I haven't shown his stripes. His posing was to counterbalance creature and follow his own curve. Actually, my favorite part of my drawing process is inking. I know people don't like it. I guess it's because it's definitive and they feel the need to make it perfect. I've never understood that anxiety. I like inking because, by the time I get there, I already know what I'm doing and how it will look. Maybe I do understand the anxiety. It's funny, I did this in a lot of little batches because I was scared to do it wrong. Which is really weird since if I don't like it, I will just change it. See? Right there, I decided that the jacket looked too long and needed to be changed. A similar thing for the legs. I have no idea why I didn't notice it sooner, but I like that I'm not afraid to change it. I rather change than commit to something I don't like. Maybe I should speak more specifically about what I'm drawing here. No, it's pretty straightforward, isn't it? I'm drawing myself something I do often enough, and it's not like coloring was that hard. All of the lines are connected and clean, so using the bucket tool was easy. I had already decided that the shading was simple. That was kind of a lot. Look over there, am I redrawing it completely? No, just drawing myself the way I am shown here and in short videos. I wanted something to balance out the canvas. Another me felt natural. By the time I got to this guy, I had gotten over the feeling of making it perfect. In fact, imperfection suits this silly little guy. Oh, and Aiden's cat form gets simplified to only have stripes on his tail. Moving along, we have to draw every frame that will go in the piece. The frame sizes are based on the 3 most used canvases I use. These frames are going to be used in the end card for our finished artwork from the SpeedPaint. Each frame has to fit a certain size as well as be simple enough so that when I make them smaller, they don't get completely crushed. Although at this stage, adding too much detail isn't really something I'm worried about as I don't tend to add detail. Cutting and resizing them can be a little annoying if the parallel lines don't match up. Luckily, most line up well enough. These guys don't have to be resized because they are special ones made to represent their canvas size. There is one frame that's a little bit more important than the other ones. It's the one that goes in the center and says my name, so of course he has to be beautiful. Beautiful does not mean complex, however he is a simple brown frame. It's just adorned with a bunch of little yellow stars. That's it for him, simple, but boy is he beautiful when he lights up. I'll show you later. Here is actually we're adding too much detail that can complicate things. The coloring of each frame has to show what material they are made out of, but also be simple, which means very minimal shading. I could add more shading, but one that would take more time and can get lost the more I manipulate and crunch these frames because they will be used for other things. Color palette wise, we have gold and brown because I'm fairly certain that I want the background to be purple. If you can't tell, purple is my favorite color. Gold or orange and brown are my next favorite colors. We're going to go past this part pretty fast. These are dark modes of the frames, so that the frame isn't too bright in darker end cards and or so it doesn't blend in with the background or artwork. Now, it is time to take all of those assets we made and put them on the big canvas. I start with the two creatures and the center frame. Then, I move on to all of the tiny frames. Tiny frames are everywhere. Now, let's make these frames into paintings. The only thing about them is that they should be monochromatic and not have similar colors close to each other. It is kind of like decorating a Christmas tree. I did a couple at a time. I'd like 3 and then a couple of hours later come back and add some more. This time doing it in batches was really because of anxiety, more like not being sure of what to draw. So, I just drew a few whenever an idea came to mind. I work on other things like my short videos. I'm almost always working on a few things at the same time. Some of the painting things I usually draw for backgrounds like trees and sky or a living room. Alongside making them fairly monochromatic, making them too contrasting can draw attention to much. These little paintings are important, but I don't want them to be the thing that draws your attention. I should be me and the center frame. Finally, making the paintings come alive. Having my little fishes is essential. There is just something about their blankness I love. I love the way the bones came out and the eyes are just fun. All of the elements add a lot of variation to the shapes. The drip from that one frame is one of my favorites, even though in most formats you wouldn't see it. Maybe that's for the best. Really quickly, this is the end card SpeedPaint. It has brown frames like the center frame and stars like that on the video frame. The other one has fish on the icon frame, where you can view and subscribe to my channel. So, the end card will look like this with the framed artwork and a little plaque. And me here. Or like this. Or like this.